Hello, everyone, and welcome to another LSJ's Late Review. This time for License to Kill. License to Kill is the 16th Bond film, and it's directed by John Glenn, who directed all of the 80s Bond films, which is either a good thing or a bad thing. I can remember at least two of them being good. It's also written by Michael G. Wilson and Richard Maybaum. Richard Maybaum has 13 writing credits for James Bond flicks, some of them co-written, and some of them he wrote by himself. But he has credits on both From Russia with Love and on Her Majesty's Secret Service, which I've already reviewed. Michael G. Wilson has been mostly a producer, I guess, for Bond flicks and stuff, but he's got writing credits on all 5 Bond films from the 80s as well, and 2 of them are at least pretty good from what I remember. So this movie, of course, it stars Timothy Dalton as James Bond 007. This is his second and final outing as Bond. Why? He's good. Now, we've got Carey Lowell in this. She plays Pam Bouvier, one of the Bond girls in this one. She's a pretty kick-ass character and a pilot, and she's great. You might have seen her in Law and Order in the 90s. Of course, we've got Robert Davi, a character actor everyone has seen. No one can see that face and forget it. He is fantastic as the Bond film Sanchez. Talisa Soto plays Lupe Lenora. She's the other Bond woman in this film. Completely different character to Pam, different motivations, character, all that kind of stuff. Also, equally as good. We've got Desmond Llewellyn, of course, as Q. And we have this really cool early role for Benicio del Toro, who plays one of Sanchez's henchmen. Now, an actor named David Hedison's in this. He was the only person to have played Felix Leiter in 2 Bond films, and that which was broken by Mr. Jeffrey Wright in the Daniel Craig films. Wayne Newton has a cameo, as does Pedro, I'm going to butcher this, Pedro Armendariz Jr., who is the son of Pedro Armendariz from Russia with Love. You got Everett McGill from Twin Peaks in this as well. Wow, I didn't expect him to show up in a Bond flick, but there he is, playing a corrupt DEA agent. Wayne Newton, who I guess people know as a singer in America, he has a small cameo from this. I mostly know him from Fallout New Vegas as the radio host. He's great. And also Anthony Zerbe is worth a mention too. He's also a character actor that you see pop up playing fucking assholes. And this movie's no different. So License to Kill, as I said, is the 16th Bond film. And it's the first movie not to take its name from one of Ian Fleming's stories. The general gist, this is an actually simple kind of Bond plot. It's not too convoluted a story, though they do convolute it along the way. But the general gist is Bond is at a wedding, and his good CIA buddy Felix is finally getting hitched, and he gets called off. So he and Bond go off with the DEA and arrest this drug baron kingpin motherfucker from South America, Sanchez, played by Robert Davi. They arrest him, make it in time for the wedding. Bond music starts. So the plot is, well, Sanchez escapes. He captures Felix after killing his wife, and feeds him to the sharks. So Felix loses a leg and part of his arm and shit, and he's pretty much left to die. Bond rescues him, and he's like, "Oh, this motherfucking Sanchez has got to die." That's the plot. Pretty much a revenge plot, very much an 80s kind of action movie. So you'd think with just a straightforward revenge plot that this movie might drag at its 2-hour runtime, but it doesn't. There's plenty of complications in the movie, like how hard it is to get to Sanchez because he's so well protected, that he doesn't have backup from either the British Secret Service or the American authorities. In fact, he's told, go home, it's none of your business. You've got no reason to be here. And Bond tells fucking M, screw you, I quit. And they have to pretty much sanction him as going rogue because Yeah, for a movie called License to Kill. His license to kill gets revoked. But that doesn't stop him. Bond is going to fucking take down Sanchez no matter what. I really like Carrie Lowell and Teresa Soto's Bond women. So Carrie Lowell plays Pam Bouvier. She's working with the American authorities and stuff like that. I think she's in the CIA. I can't quite recall, but what I do remember is that she's tough, she's smart, she doesn't take any of that sexism shit, and she's a pretty good pilot, which you think like when you watch most of the movie, is she even going to pilot a plane? Yep, she sure does. In a really good sequence near the end of the film, her character is really, really good, and I also liked Talisa Soto's character Lupe. She's in a tough situation. Sanchez is obsessed with her. She is one of his girls. And the reason he got caught by the police, the American authorities in the first place, is because she'd run off with a guy she was in love with, and he was just like not having that. So he cuts out this dude's heart, and then he gets caught, he escapes or whatever, but she's in his clutches, but she never feels like a damsel, which is what I really like. She's this strong character in a really tough position who eventually falls for and helps Bond, of course. But I didn't get real pussy whisperer vibes. I'm sorry, it's a vulgar term, but this is what Bond is. Everyone knows he goes after the ladies. He likes the ladies. And yeah, sure, he does in this one too, but man, this Bond is charming. He's not a sleazebag either. He works it. He's really wonderful. And my wife actually likes Timothy Dalton's performance as Bond more than she enjoyed Lazenby and Connery. She found Connery a little sleazy. Lazenby, whilst I still think is a great Bond, isn't really greatest of actors. Timothy Dalton is. He fucking nails it as James Bond. He is cool. He is fearless. He's soft when he needs to be. He's fucking stone cold and hard when he needs to be as well. He's awesome. Robert Davi, Sanchez, is a villain that you really want to see get his comeuppance. He's had it way too good for way too long, and he's messed with the wrong motherfucker. I get the feeling that Robert Davi even had a great time playing Sanchez. He's even got some really cool henchmen, specifically Benicio del Toro, who looks really creepy and evil as one of his low-level or maybe mid-level henchmen. So the story's straightforward, but the characters are memorable. The action set pieces are fantastic, though some of them go a little overboard when the truck, which is on all its wheels, suddenly goes from like that to like that, driving on one side only. Charity and I had a good laugh, but I still thought it was fucking cool because Dalton just sells it. He's like, whoa, yeah, holy shit, I just dodged a rocket. It's really cool. Q gets a lot to do in this movie, which I appreciate. Usually he's just there at the start of the movie or somewhere during the flick, meeting up with Bond and going, here are your Deus Ex gadgets for this movie, for this flick. Here are the gadgets that you're only to use for this movie that will get you out of all your trouble. Yeah, some of that happens, but mostly because Bond's gone rogue. Q goes there to kind of help him out and has his back and helps him throughout the movie. So I really appreciated that they gave him something more to do here. Yeah, that theme, it's 80s as fuck, but Gladys Knight crushes it. It's a really good song. It's stuck in my head. I really like that too. There's a really cool nod early on in the film where they reference on Her Majesty's Secret Service and the fact that Bond used to be married. I really like that. That's a nice touch. This is a solid, if straightforward movie, which is probably not something everyone expects from James Bond. They also don't expect him to go after, I guess, South American drug lords. But to me, this is awesome. The focus is on Bond. You see a different side of him. He's fucking badass throughout, whilst also being incredibly cool and charming. Timothy Dalton is amazing. This film, yeah, it's pretty fucking good. I'd check it out. I give it an 8 out of 10. There you go. That's 3 Bond films. There's more on the way. I don't know when, but we're going to get to them. And I think the plan is, no, I'm not telling you what Bond films are next. Where's the fun in that? Give me a like, dislike, share and subscribe, all that shit. Follow me on the hash tweets, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. I got a license to kill, and you know that I'm coming straight for you. License to kill.